following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
Fuck these bitch ass Mars. 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 They ain't got no life. They ain't got no life. They ain't got no life.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dork Side of the Ring. This is episode number 6. I am your host, Rad Rob Francois, joined as always by my good friend, the one and only from It's Hughezy. Hello, the greatest YouTube editor in the history of the universe, who edits the Keeping It 100 with Conan YouTube page. Definitely check that out. It is Mr. Hughezy. What's going on, buddy? I heard you got some weather moving in there. Hope you guys are staying safe. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, crazy weather warnings. It's fucking freezing. I've got a hat on, and I couldn't be happier yesterday because I know that the public wants to hear this type of content. I had the McDonald's Christmas meal for the first time in 2 years, and I almost shot cum into my own face. And to sum up, it was delicious, the food.
That's fair. That's good. So just to peel back the onion, or pull back the curtain, whatever Wangland used to say, your heater broke last week, right? Or the week before. That's you still haven't got that shit rectified?
Oh no, that's fixed, but it's just the actual weather now has dropped to freezing temperatures. But we got a ye old boiler fixed, and hilariously, Mankind wasn't there fighting the Undertaker. Get it? Boilers.
I see what you did there. Do you follow him on Twitter, by the way?
No. He is an unbearable wanker. There's something I always say that right. See, socially, I would be quite a liberal, and I'm not I don't hate black people like you do, and I don't murder gay people for fun like you do, and I don't listen to Garth Brooks like you do. But Mick Foley has that thing where he's such a liberal that he's clearly something there to hide. And you always hear these weird, if you always remember these stories about him going, how he's always texting the women of who's ever current. He's like, oh, I was texting Brie Bell, or I was texting Melina, and all. And you just think, what are you doing? There's something creepy about you. It comes across as very fake and Bill Clinton-y. Hi.
I'm sure Colette doesn't appreciate that.
Hi, I'm a big mark for Dork Side of the Ring. Thanks for having me on the show today. Just while we're on the subject, see Monica Lewinsky. See, back in the day when you look at the photographs of her, would you?
I would.
Yeah, you would. That's the thing. Bill fucking Clinton was right. He didn't really have to deal with terrorism. He just had some big ass bitch essing his D and at work. Like, that's not bad. Like, would you want Hillary Clinton sucking yours?
No, not at all.
I don't want her sucking my dick, literally or figuratively. She can fuck off and suck Pete Davidson's dick.
I wouldn't fuck her with a stolen dick.
I wouldn't fuck her with fuck, I forgot the name, the vice president. What's her name?
Kamala.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck her with Kamala's dick.
Yeah, that's fair. Or Michelle Obama's dick.
While we're on the subject, of course, we're in this Christmas we're in this hat because we're in the Christmas time now. Thanksgiving's over. At Christmas, it snows a lot. The white stuff. Today's topic is about Tony Kahn.
Great segue.
Thank you. This guy is, I think, going to go down as one of the more controversial bookers ever. For the first time, I finally got watching the episode of Dark Side of the Ring, which is kind of a spin-off of our name. And you think
it's a rip-off, really. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sounds similar.
It does.
I watched the episode about Herb Albert's company called the UWF. And it was pretty crazy in that when you watch it, you start hearing this stuff. Like Herb Albert, for example, had zero experience in the pro wrestling business on any level before getting put in charge of his own company. Okay. Herb Albert was able to get his hands, should have said, had access to a lot of money so that he could pay wrestlers way more than they're worth, which, while that's very good for the wrestlers as a business move, really, really bad deal because you have to, like, if you look at like The Rock and Steve Austin, they warranted getting paid all that money because they were generating it back. The UWF didn't. Then you've got to look at Herb Albert was signing a bunch of older wrestlers way beyond their glory days, physically and mentally, not where they used to be or should be. So they're not really stars, not drawn anymore. Also, he wanted to immediately go into competition with the WWE at a time when the business was not very strong, yet for some reason he wanted competition and tried to sign up whoever. Like, one of the big things he did was sign up Andre the Giant in the early 90s, which on paper looks good, but in reality, it's a guy who's dangerously overweight, literally ended up killing him because of his heart. His fucking body was falling to pieces. He while there was name value, he was in no way near the star that he was, which reminds me a lot of CM Punk. And it's just like everything that was in this dark side of the ring. See what happened there? Made me think of fucking Tony Kahn, and it's shocking.
It is, and you're right. I watched that episode as well, and you can make the same comparisons between the two. You mentioned something earlier about going down. You saw Tony Khan's going to go down as being one of the worst promoters and bookers ever. He also goes down on Dave Meltzer, so there's that.
There's something so weird there. At the minute on Keeping 100, one of the topics that keeps being spoken about is there was a match at WWE Crown Jewel. It was Edge versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell. I loved it, and the general feeling is that it's possibly the match of the year, at least from WWE. Brilliant. Meltzer rated it 4 stars, but then you go to AEW, there was Adam Cole and the Young Bucks against Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and Christian, 5 stars.
Shocker.
And there's something you see this all the time on TV with not even TV, on AEW, the overpraise, and everything's fucking great. That TV segment, that's the best thing I've seen in the last 20 years of pro wrestling. That promo, maybe the greatest promo I've ever seen. Tony Khan just touched that leper. That leper can walk. It's like, enough of this shit. Like, at some point, there's going to be an unbelievable wake up. We'll put it like this, for example. At the time of recording this, the current big AEW thing is CM Punk and MJF had this promo segment, which, by the way, little shout out to Disco Inferno, he's been saying that since August.
Yeah.
Every fucking week he's been saying, hey, they should have MJF and CM Punk in the ring, not fucking squash matches with people that shouldn't be there. That's my Conan impression. So they finally did what Disco Inferno has been saying, and everybody's praising it up. And what was the rating? Apparently, it was just barely over 800,000.
Yeah,
like that's
fucking. They lost viewers. Yeah,
it's fucking insane. And now, to be fair, I haven't seen it, so I'm not saying it was bad. Probably was great. Everybody seems to be saying it was great. But in fact, by the way, quick detour rant. There was a guy in the fucking brand Facebook group.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is exactly the kind of warped fucking brain that these AEW fans have. He thinks that CM Punk's failure in AEW was all the genius of Tony Kahn. And this is not me making this up. It was all in writing. I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah. Yep. He thinks that they deliberately booked CM Punk badly this whole time, simply so that they could get to this moment. Like that's you think that Tony Khan would chase viewers away and lose money and have a drop in ticket sales for this? That's the type of fucking fan that Tony Khan has enabled.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's like with that scoundrel Mike Durband. I never talked to him about race issues because he puts his hood on and then he lights his tiki torch, starts talking about how he won't be replaced, starts talking about Eddie Murphy, all that stuff. And I say, hey, Durband, you can't use foul language on a podcast. People have feelings. You might hurt someone by saying the wrong thing. And that's something that I will not stand for at Christmas time.
That's right. That's right. You have high morals and high integrity. Absolutely. Yeah, this douchebag in the brand group, and I don't care if he listens, he's a douchebag. If you have that opinion, you're a fucking dumbass. Think that because they mentioned in the promo the fact that, Punk said, I haven't been in top matches, haven't been in any programs, or maybe MJF said it again. I didn't see it. I'm just kind of going off what people were saying on Twitter. They did mention the fact that Punk hasn't done anything since he's gotten there. For this retard to think that, I'm not going to bleep that out like Durband does. He's a retard. Not Durban. Well, Durband might be. I don't know. Anyway, this retard in the brand group thinks that Tony Kahn, like you said, planned all that out so they can put this in the fucking promo and make Punk look like shit doing commentary every week or wrestling fucking QT Marshall or whoever the fuck else he's wrestled. To lead up to this, dude, there's no way. There's no way. There's too much money on the line, and they're not making any.
Yeah, and that's the thing that with Tony Khan has genuinely convinced these fans into. How did you go to focus like that? That's pretty amazing.
I'm fat.
Well, I have substance abuse problems. But with Tony Khan, it's really scary, and it's kind of like at this time of year with kids, it's cute to see how they believe in Santa. And we can finally get them to stop acting like little dicks because you could say, if you don't put all those crayons back, they might melt and then Santa's going to be upset. And then, so you can get your kids to behave good for fucking 3 weeks a year. Right. It's heavenly. While you drink yourself half to death every night and every morning you almost shit half of your pelvis out. That's the way, that's what all attribute to the birth of Jesus.
Are you projecting from your own self, or I know you don't have any kids, but the drinking part?
Oh God, I've been going through hell.
Your poor anus.
Oh Jesus, it's been the Christmas season since November 1st, and I can't wait for 2022. I need dry January. Yeah, I'm going to fucking torture. But yeah, another thing I gotta say about Tony Khan that's kind of infamous, and I mentioned it earlier, is his business deals. The TV spot they have in the UK, it's on a Sunday morning on a channel called ITV4, which is like a bonus package digital channel. Most people, even the unemployed, aren't awake on a Sunday morning to watch a heavily edited pro wrestling show. Apparently the viewing figures over here veer between 50 to 70,000. Wow. Like AEW, and I have a feeling that AEW / Tony Khan took whatever offer they were given and just is right. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll do that. And another thing I've got to say, of course, coming up to Christmas, I'm slowly relapsed into my video game fandom. You're a gamer, which we can, of course, find on Rad Rob Gaming on Twitch. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. There's a big YouTuber guy called the Rad Brad.
Yes,
he's a Keep It 100 fan.
Oh no shit!
And he was telling me there was a clip. I think it was about the AEW video game, and he said that according to his contacts, to take it for everyone, he says that Tony Khan made an initial investment of $80 million into the game. But it keeps getting delayed, and he's footing the bill for the budget as it keeps getting pushed back. But here's now, to be fair, I will admit that the game potentially is going to be excellent when it does come out. But I also think it's going to fuck the company up because Brad told me that there's potentially over $100 million being spent on the game itself.
Damn.
And that they'll need to sell 1.3 million copies to break even. Then they'll need to sell more to become profitable. And it's like, in this day and age, for a pro wrestling game, that's simply not going to happen. It seems like it's going to be another financial loss, just like Impact's game, the ECW game. I'm sure you heard the stories that Paul Heyman made such a bad deal that ECW literally made 0.00 in profit from it. Like, it's fucking, like, he's... And also, why is it that all AEW fans keep calling Tony Kahn a genius? They're not aware of his, what do you call it, Jacksonville Jaguars?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then Fulham FC's in the toilet. So how can he be such a genius if he's got more failures than success?
I don't know, but on the video game front, it's funny. Like, Microsoft did that when they launched Xbox 360. Like, they took a loss on it just based on how much it cost to make them. And how much they had to kind of undercut the price because they were in competition with Sony. So they're trying to lower their price to get more units sold, which, doesn't make money that way. I mean, yeah, it gets more units in the hands of the consumers, but you're taking a loss because you're cutting your prices. If he's dumping that much money into the video game, what do you do when you want to create another one? You know what I mean? Like WWE 2K comes out almost every year. I mean, they fucked up 20 so much, they just stopped making it until next year. But what are you gonna do? Just play that one fucking forever and just keep updating the rosters? Like, they're gonna have to make another one at some point. Then what the fuck do they do?
Yeah, and the thing, what I find strange is, I remember there was a Keep It 100 email about this. They have a mobile app game, whatever the fuck it's called. Apparently, it's sold 1,900 copies.
Oh, that's good.
A complete tank of a fucking game. Like, it's just a failure. Like, so, and that cost very little. So now we're going into this game, which is costing apparently over $100 million. I just worry for Tony Kahn. I don't think that he's insane, but I think that he's so obnoxious that he's just so unaware of what he's got himself into. Like, Tony Kahn has as much experience in pro wrestling as you or I do at directing Star Wars.
Well, according to some people, we could probably do a better job with the last 3 Star Wars because they were not a favorite amongst the Star Wars marks. What are your thoughts on those movies, by the way?
But this is going to sound hypocritical. I thought that The Force Awakens was really good until I seen the third one, and then it's like, so that's the real, like, if that's what you had planned all along, then this is fucking garbage. And just to go on a detour, it's a perfect example of woke Hollywood sabotaging opportunities of better films. The fact that your guy Finn, who was cast in the lead, like, now, why would you cast that actor? He wasn't a particularly good dramatic actor, so what's the reason that he was cast in it? Plus, he fucking, if you watch Force Awakens, at the start of the film, the guy is terrified to even hold a gun. Within 2 hours later, which is in real time, technically, in that film, he's going hand to hand with the fucking Sith Lord.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, how you doing that? And then it's not revealed that he's a Jedi or anything. Pile of shit film.
Yeah, no, I agree. Second one sucked too.
Yeah, really fucking bad. And I was a defender.
Trying to release the animals at the casino, like the whole fucking, just like, save the fucking animals. Like, really? That was the whole that was the whole point of that scene.
I defended that film so much, and then I tried rewatching it, and it's like, no, they were right, I was wrong. But the other thing, but again, with Tony Kahn and his business deals, and then you hear stuff that go, oh, but CM Punk sold 100,000 t-shirts from Pro Wrestling Tees in one day. It's like, great, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
How much did he sell the next day? How much is he selling now?
14.
Yeah, it's just like, if you go to the gym tomorrow and work out for 8 hours, that's great. Then you've got to keep going. You can't just say, yeah, when's the next workout? Oh, maybe August.
And how much money did they spend on ice cream bars? Take a loss on.
Yeah. Such a... Even I could call him a mark, and I'm wearing an AC/DC hat.
Yeah, that's, that's fair. What about Tony Khan signing literally everybody from the fucking WWE? I mean, first he started with Jericho, which obviously we understand. I mean, Jericho was a big name, still is a big name, and a big gut. But I'm going to get heat for that. We got heat for fucking dumping on him, even though we said we were big fans of Jericho, which we still are, kind of.
Yeah, I'm actually going to see Fozzy live next.
You are, that's right.
I think it's next Sunday. I'll have to recheck my Nyla Rose diary. But I think, yeah, I'm always going to be a Jericho fan, but this shit, it's crap. Like, it's crap, and he doesn't look good. And our opinion was that he's always going to be a legend, and we're always going to be marched for him. But the fact is, what they're doing with him in AEW is not making him look good. And and I just noticed the title you put up on the screen for the episode, which probably couldn't put that on YouTube.
No,
but yeah.
But Jericho, I mean, like when you see him, tell him that we're sorry. Like we don't dislike him. I mean, I know you're going to say him because Conan.
He'll probably want me to get up on stage with him and have a couple of drinks and do a couple of songs, and I'll think about it. But
Feeney will get jealous if you do that because they're best friends.
Very close. Yeah. Part of the business.
But I had nowhere to go from there. But as far as, again, signing old wrestlers, we understand Jericho had to be a guy to kind of lead the brand when they first started. But putting him over Hangman Page from the start, dude, like, and then all the marks going to be like, that was part of the plan. They waited 3 fucking years to make Heyman look like shit, only to win the title from Kenny Omega, who's a fucking dipshit. Come on, dude.
Yeah, but that's like if you want to talk about a slow build angle, look at what they're doing with The Rock and Roman Reigns. They slightly hint and tease it here and there. They've actually started to mention The Rock's name on TV. Like it's going to be too long of a build, and I think they've missed the window. It should have been next year, not fucking 2023. But anyway.
I mean, they built him and Cena for an entire year, twice, right? So, I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is. But I mean, he was supposed to show up at Survivor Series, but his schedule got fucked up. I think that was the initial plan when they first plotted out what they were going to do, and obviously he couldn't be there.
You mentioned Tony Kahn signing people just a couple of weeks ago. He did yet another press interview, which is something I don't understand. Why is it always him doing all the press? Why isn't it, I don't know, the wrestlers? Why aren't they out getting the promotion and trying to get themselves more exposure? Why is it always fucking Tony Khan's on Barstool Sports? Tony Khan's been interviewed by Esquire. Tony Khan's on fucking that American radio show. And I could tell you why, because this is all an ego play for him. This is a toy. He wants to show Daddy, say, look, Daddy, I'm a big boy on the radio. And then he goes on these shows and he makes himself look like a dick. Like I think it was last week, he said WWE contracts are just temporary agreements. It's like, yeah, that's what a contract is. You like when you're renting a car, you sign a contract that you own this temporarily and you have to take care of it for, say, I don't know, 4 days or whatever the fuck. It just goes to show Tony Khan is a lonely boy who is buying a shitload of friends. I heard that he signed something between 9 to 11 Ring of Honor people, which is there's no doubt he's going to bring in people like Cross and Scarlett and Keith Lee and all this shit, which, to be fair, good for them. I love Cross and Scarlett. But it's...
What do you do with them all, dude? He signed all these people. Look, what happened to fucking Andrade? Like, I know that he was on last week or this week, whatever. But I mean, they made him look like shit for how long? And he was this touted draft pick. Tony Nese. They fucking said Tony Nese was one of the most highly sought after fucking prospects, and he's on Dark and Elevation and whatever else they like. Are you fucking kidding me? They literally said that on TV, and then they don't even use him on Dynamite. And the list goes on with people that they've bought and not used.
But all it does is, I keep saying it and keep 100 comments. They say that Tony Khan has 2 ideas: form a faction or the big debut.
Yeah,
that's all he can do. So after somebody debuts, he's like, well, what the fuck do we do now? Because he's not talented enough to be a creator. Because the thing is, pro wrestling it's a TV show. It's not a sport. You can't just say, okay, it's going to be Rad Rob versus fucking Chad Ian B, or whatever the fuck his name is. It's like, okay, but why are they wrestling? And what's the storyline and what happens to the winner? Tony Kahn can't do that. He just thinks, well, fuck then we'll have John Paz come into the match and they'll form a gang and all this shit. That's every show. And you can see how the AEW numbers are dropping. That slowly the fans are becoming aware of this, and they're thinking, well, this is dull. He's just going to have cross debut. He's going to take a shot at the WWE. Maybe have a match with with Cody Rhodes, and then it's on to the next.
He'll lose to Cody, and then then he'll join a gang. He'll join Aleister Black's gang. No, it's just his track record, right? Like, he's an Attitude Era fan, so I understand why he has the factions because of all the factions they had during that time period. He just he copies and pastes. Like, he takes what he liked from WWE and WCW in the Attitude Era, and then he applies it to today's modern day product, like having them flip, the cameras off and all that. That one show they had like a backlot brawl, and like the best friend's mom fucking picked him up, and then she flipped off everybody as they drove away in their minivan. Like yeah, it's funny, but fuck, dude, like, you're trying to present this as a real sport. You have wins and losses. You have rankings, and then you're gonna pull shit like this. Like, are you a sport or are you fucking entertainment? Or are you sports entertainment? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and another thing about Herb Albert, I'm just remembering, is one of the parts of that episode is they spoke about how Herb Albert more and more was making the show all about him. And Herb Albert's doing the backstage segments. Yeah. He's doing the interviews. He's the ring announcer. He's an actual in-ring character. That's what's happening to Tony Kahn. And everything he said he wouldn't do, he's completely. I just think he wants Daddy to watch him. Like, look, Daddy, I want the cheers. And then there's the stuff. Did you know that AEW allegedly, I should say, doesn't have a drug testing system in process?
That's what I heard. I mean, I haven't heard any mention that they have one, so I'm just going to assume that they don't, right? Because, I mean, if they did, I'm sure he would tout it as being the greatest fucking system in the world, right?
Yeah, and like we've seen Jericho, apparently, someone said on K100, said that AEW guys drink backstage. We've just seen John Moxley going into rehab.
Yep.
They don't have a good medical system. There's a lot of people getting badly hurt all the time.
Matt Hardy.
Yeah, Matt Hardy. What's the guy, Lance Archer? Somebody told him to do a moonsault and he landed right on the top of his head. He's out with a neck injury.
Yep.
And then this might be a little. Well, I'll call it the C word because we can't. We don't get flagged on YouTube. But Brody Lee. Obviously died just nearly 12 months ago, I think, or was it more so?
Yeah, who cares?
Oh, what happened was
no, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that was fucked. I mean, usually I'm an asshole and I don't care, but no, that's fucked. No, it sucks that he died. Please don't give me hate mail for that. I'm sorry.
But Meltzer and all, and AEW admitted months later that in November and December of 2020, there was a big C outbreak.
Yep.
And the Young Bucks got it. Apparently Jericho had it. And shockingly, during this time, Brody Lee caught a lung infection, which caused him to die, but it wasn't the C. And I think there's something really, really shady about that. Where it's like, okay, then what's the name of the infection that he died from that wasn't the C?
Nobody knows. The doctors couldn't figure it out. It was weird, right? That's what they said.
Yeah, because they weren't. These are the same doctors who said that Matt Hardy wasn't concussed when he landed on the back of his head from about 7 feet in the air, and his face turned purple.
Yep.
And he couldn't move his arms. And they're saying, "Oh no, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine." And then the dumb marks believe it. They go, "Oh no, he wasn't hurt. He was selling. He was selling." It's
Yeah.
like
when he got the fucking chair thrown in his fucking face, right? And his face busted open because Sammy Guevara's a dipshit.
Yeah, if that's acting, Daniel Day-Lewis just called and he says that Matt Hardy needs to fucking chill out.
But you know how old school wrestlers are, right? And Matt's kind of that last breed where, put me back in, brother. I'm okay. I can finish the match, right? Like that's what they were trained to do back in the day. But somebody there has to have some fucking common sense and say, no, you can't go back in there. But Tony's like, oh, you're good? All right, yeah, sure. Let's finish it.
Yeah, I told Daddy that you were going to do an elbow drop. And then I remember there's a thing, and I could probably find you the link to send you, but I sure don't give a fuck. Jericho said on Keep 100 that Tony Kahn has like snacks set out for all the wrestlers after their matches, and that Tony will come over and have like a slice of pizza.
So like cookies and juice boxes and shit.
Yeah, he has like pizza. Yeah. Oh, I'd love one of them right now. He has like a pizza and stuff, so he'd just stand there awkwardly having a pizza, like num 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 num. Plus, what's up with all the hugging? Not that there's anything wrong with it, and if he is, I'm not saying this is an insult. If he is bottom right, if you're a Get My Go listener, not that there's anything wrong with that, and if he is, good for him. I'm not going to judge. There's something very creepy to me how he keeps wanting to hug the men again and again and again. Like there was a press conference he did with Adam Cole, and I don't know if you've seen the video. He hugged him 7 times during this press conference or media scrum. That's really weird. And another question, just while we're on the media scrum, why the fuck is Tony Khan there? Why is he being interviewed with Adam Cole, talking about Adam Cole's debut? And
Punk, I mean, he did the same thing with Punk for like 5 hours.
That CM Punk media scrum was
embarrassing.
I think that's the worst thing that fucking Tony Khan's ever done. The smuggest, most obnoxious face of this cunt. He's a cunt. Oh my God. If someone looked at you like that in a bar, there's going to be trouble. He's so smug with his fucking, not that there's anything wrong with that face. And I'm glad that the CM Punk thing was a failure. And one of the weird things that Tony Khan lately, just from talking about doing press, he's so boastful. Where now he's boasting about critics. I heard him say, we have a lot of critics from WWE, but I have more money than they do. And it's like, good for you. Your dad's very rich. You were born into the family. That doesn't take away from the fact that you're a fucking skinny little cunt. You look like Mr. Bean. You're a fucking liar. You've been called out and caught out dozens and dozens of times, speaking out of your cunt hole. When you heard him say that he has more money than his critics, what did it make you think?
Hey, he's a spoiled fucking little kid, right? Like he's had everything handed to him. He had this, fucking got the Jaguars. He's got the fucking soccer team. Hey, I want to have a wrestling organization. Dad's like, okay, sure. How much money do you need? $50 billion. All right, let's do it. He's never been told no. He's always been the focus of attention. I don't know if he's an only child. I don't think he is, but he acts like he's one. And he, I don't know if it's just he's a sociopath or just a megalomaniacal and just has a huge ego. I mean, bigger ego than Vince McMahon. I mean, you didn't see Vince doing all the stuff that he does. Vince doesn't acknowledge anybody else. Vince doesn't go out there and do every fucking appearance. You know who does the appearances? John Cena fucking did appearances. The Miz. Roman Reigns does them. They do all the fucking charity shit. Vince isn't the fucking face of WWE. His stars are. But, I mean, do you really want Marco Stunt going on fucking radio and promoting the next event, or Adam Cole, or, fucking Miro? Can
you believe that Marco Stunt and Brock Lesnar have the same job?
That's fair, yeah.
But with Vince McMahon's ego, and he's very smug.
Which he does, yeah. He has an ego.
He's got an ego that he's earned. It's not like brother Christopher Martin, who's bizarrely overconfident despite an ugly wife and a shitty job. Not that I hold grudges.
No, not at all. By the way, did you see JR had back surgery? I saw the pictures of it.
And I wish him all the best. And fuck anyone who ever lied about having cancer or back problems for attention, particularly cancer fakers.
Yep. because JR actually has both right now. So
yeah, and that's fucking horrible. And but I think he's going to be okay.
he should be okay. Yeah, I mean, he's JR, right? He's tough.
Sadly, other people will still be alive.
Unfortunately, I don't know where else to go from there. you always get me sometimes. Look, just to sum it up in a nutshell, Tony Kahn. You have the sniffles there, buddy, or no,
It's cold.
Allegedly, and this is what I've heard. There's a couple rumors that I've heard about Tony Kahn. One, he does do an enormous amount of cocaine, but I mean, who doesn't, right? I mean, it's the 80s.
We all do.
So yeah, we all do. And two,
we're doing it right now.
Yeah. Number two, he may be a switch hitter. Let's just say.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I have heard of some illicit incidents from the past, trying to sign certain indie wrestlers, but I can't elaborate. I have my sources, but I'm sworn to secrecy. But he's a weird dude.
Well, the drugs thing. When you look at Tony Khan's schedule, he basically works all day every day, and which I don't know how that's possible, because it's not like he's fucking 20 something.
Yeah.
Eventually that shit catches up with you and you're tired, so you'll need something to pep you up so that you can go travel to the fucking football meeting and then book the wrestling show and keep it going. Plus, I don't know if you heard the rumor that he apparently spoke about he wants to start up a animation company.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I didn't hear that.
And the thing is, you know for a fact that if he does, he's not just going to start the company up and sit back and let the money roll in. He's going to be part of the scripting process. He's going to voice a character. He's going to be like all the, because that's the thing. Well, what he's doing the wrong move for business. He's setting up the company and then taking a main job. Just fucking sit back and let other people work for you.
I don't understand why he has to be the fucking main focus of attention. We talked about the Owen Hart stuff. Like, he puts out this press release. We've agreed to a deal with Martha Hart to use Owen Hart's legacy and have a tournament. When the fuck is that going to happen? That hasn't happened. And they've not even mentioned one word on TV lately. And then how many times has he brought up Brody Lee? Like, how many times has he done tributes for him? He's done at least 2 tribute shows that I know of, and just keeps, bringing his name up, just trying to fucking get, clout from it. He's goddamn, dude. He's just a weird fucking guy. I remember the first time he was ever like on TV, they were like brawling backstage, and he was sitting back there on a monitor with his fucking flip flops on and his fucking t-shirt and his fucked up hair. And then Tony Schiavone's like, "Oh, that's Tony Kahn. That's our, I don't even know what they called him." And then from there, he just, every week he just did a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until he's out there making matches and shit like that. He wants to be everything he loved in the 90s. He wants to be Vince McMahon. He wants to be Eric Bischoff. He wants to be Paul Heyman. It's the 3 faces of Kahn, I guess we could call it.
Yeah, but the thing about Kahn, it's that he keeps, nobody's telling him no.
Right.
Nobody's going, Tony, maybe this, maybe, because like there's a lot of rumors I've heard, which, to be fair, I'm extremely jealous, so I'm not rolling my eyes, that the majority of pro wrestlers in AEW are making at least 7 figures a year.
Yep.
I've heard that Jericho is making something like 8 million a year. What's the Dean Ambrose? What's his name again?
John Moxley. Yeah.
Is making up to 6 million. Apparently, Punk and Daniel Bryan are getting between like 4 to 5 million a year. Like, to be fair, if you can get that deal, you're going to take it. You're not going to go, "Oh, but the good of the business." No,
absolutely.
Yeah. I forgot what point I'm trying to make. Oh, yeah. But the thing is that in WWE, if you want to make that kind of money, you have to prove that you're worthy of it.
Right.
I actually have completely forgotten what I was talking about.
I mean, they made their living. They made their name in WWE, right?
Yeah, I remember now what I was trying to say, and I don't know why I even spoke about the contracts. Yeah, that's why I said that, because Tony Khan is paying these people so much nobody wants to tell him that he's doing badly at his job. The infamous promo thing where he come out and he says to what's his name, Kenny Omega, next week, or what was it? No, in 9 days, you're going to do it. Going 9 days, 9 days, all this stuff. It's like, what was that? Why are you here? What the fuck are you doing? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Kenny Omega allegedly too. Not that I care. It doesn't matter to me. Sure, he's a nice guy. It's all that stuff. He needs to fuck off. If I had that kind of money, the last thing I would want to do is work. I would be having the time of my life, not being a 9-to-5 twat like the rest of us.
But look at all the guys he has there. You know, he's got JR, he's got Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Billy Gunn's been in the business a long time. Jake the Snake, Dean Malenko. He has all this talent that is backstage working for him. And he has to be the one to write the fucking shows. Like, you can't just have a booking committee. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't have a booking committee like WCW did. But at least have a filter. And maybe they do. Maybe he does run some ideas by them and they're just fucking yes men. I don't know. I'm just assuming the fact that he doesn't have a filter and nobody's telling him that that's shit. And look, in the end of the day, everything still goes through Vince McMahon. You know, you can have plenty of people say that that's not good, brother. And he still does it anyway. So, I mean, there are correlations between the two. But to me, it just seems like you're right. Nobody wants to tell Tony no. He's the boss. He's the one signing the paychecks. Maybe they don't just give a fuck. Maybe they're just there to collect a paycheck. Maybe nobody cares, right? Maybe Punk and Jericho, this is, I don't give a fuck. We're making a shit ton of money and we're gonna have to take a lot of bumps.
Yeah.
You know, well,
yeah, that's why apparently in February a lot of contracts are up for renewal.
Right.
So I think that early next year we're going to see a lot of either a lot of changes in AEW, or we're going to see Tony Kahn stay the course and get even worse at this. If Jericho can get $10 million a year, fucking take it. But
look at the bottom line, Hughezy. And I don't mean to interrupt you. With all the talent they have on the roster, and we just gave one example of the ratings going down this week with Punk in the feature with MJF. Will they go up next week because they're promoting the two now? Possibly. But the fact that this is year 3 almost, and the viewership has not gone up. Like, you're supposed to get better every single year. And the fact they're either status quo or they're getting worse. I predicted when AEW first came out, they would not be in business in 5 years or less. So we got about 2 years left. If he keeps doing what he's doing and keeps spending the way he's spending, and they're not making any money at all, I can't see his dad be like, look, we're hemorrhaging money. I know we're fucking rich, but this is not working. We need to do something else. Maybe they'll bring in, his brother Nick Kahn, and he can fucking turn the federation around like he did with WWE. But if they keep doing business the way they're doing it now, there's no potential way that they. And who knows? TNT might even pull their contract. I know TNT's happy with their numbers, but would you be happy with $700,000 a week?
See, TNT says that, but that's like when you're going through a bad relationship where you're like, no, I'm very happy with the fact that she's gaining weight. Why would I want her to still be the Jenna Jameson of the 90s? I love the fact that she eats a sandwich while on the toilet. That's sexy. But then if it's doing so well, why is it moving to TBS?
Right. Well, because hockey and basketball take precedence over that. So even they don't treat it like it's a big deal. Yeah.
So it's and the fact is, then you look at the ticket sales, and the ticket sales are dropping. The ratings are going down because this is what happens. Like nothing. Like who's your favorite band?
Metallica.
Right, Metallica. If Metallica said, right, we're going to play Nashville every week for the next year, you're not going to go see Metallica every week for the next year. You're going to be like, I think 10's enough. Like, it's expensive. It's kind of repetitive. I don't need to go every time. AEW keeps playing the same cities. And while I think they just sold out Chicago again, they're not selling anywhere else out. And it's like, you need to mix it up. What you've done has been, consider the first 3 years, season 1. Now you've got to take it in a new direction. WWE have done that with like the fucking ruthless aggression and attitude era in the next generation. It's time to change it up. But I think that Tony Kahn is so fucking obnoxious that he won't allow himself to change.
You're right. Which is why I don't see them continuing on the same path. I mean, something has to give. Something has to change because they're never going to be in the black, and they're never going to get over 1 million viewers. But what do you measure a success by now? If they're happy with 800,000, 900,000 people, and Cody from the very beginning, and I've said this a million times in all my shows, Cody never catered to the casuals. He literally came out and said, "We want to cater to our audience." If you only cater to your audience, that is a horrible, horrible business plan because you'll never have any growth. And you can sign Jesus for all I care. He may pop a rating one time, but it's not going to last that long. And something has to change. And Tony Kahn is the one in charge. It has to start with him. He has to do something other than what he's doing right now. Because, again, I hate to be repetitive, if they keep doing what they're doing, they're not going to last that much longer.
Yeah, but the thing is, at some point, it's funny you mentioned that the thing that they said about their fans. Surely AEW fans are going to become self-aware and are going to start
at some point. They can become sentient fucking, what do you call it? Androids.
Yeah, sentient beings.
Yeah,
or whatever the fuck it's pronounced. Yeah, it's such a these fans are the fucking worst alive.
They are. They're the absolute shits. And it's funny. You're either on one side or you're the other. You're either a WWE fan or you're an AEW fan. And in today's culture on Twitter, especially, you can't be both. And I go down these threads and watch these fucking marks just fight back and forth about, oh, we won this week and we had this demo and blah, blah, blah. We beat fucking SmackDown for 2.5 minutes. We're the fucking champions. Who gives a fuck? It's wrestling. It's entertainment. We don't fucking argue. I think we've talked about this before. We don't argue about, like fucking Blue Bloods and I don't know, fucking whatever, Chicago PD or whatever the fuck their shows are. This one's better than the other. Nobody argues about TV shows that way. Why the fuck do people argue about wrestling that way? It's just a TV show.
But it's simply because, and just as we're wrapping this up, because Tony Kahn has enabled the worst marks ever. They think it's real. I've seen them comparing it to UFC fighters. It's like, you can't do that. That's like comparing fucking rock and roll to dentistry. Like it's different. It's a different thing. Wrestling is a live action film. It's not shoot combat sports. And AEW needs to hurry up. Like that's the whole thing about the Dan Lambert stuff. That you're bringing in a guy calling it all like fake and wimpy with shoot fighters, but then they're also trying to act as if the rest of the matches are real. And I'm going to use that as a plug for Keep 100 Official, where Conan and Disco did a 20-something minute interview with Dan Lambert, which is up right now.
He's fantastic, by the way. Like I love him. Like he's doing really good stuff. But again, you're right. It's a work shoot. He's bringing in these legitimate tough guys that could fuck up anybody on the roster. And then you have wrestling matches, which are choreographed and predetermined.
But just a final question I have to ask for you. How long do you think it's going to take until Tony Kahn himself is taking bumps in the ring on live TV or working a match?
I would honestly give it a year. Possibly. I think it'll happen within next year. You may see that in 2022. And it may be against Punk. That wouldn't shock me. He would literally book himself against fucking CM Punk and probably put himself over and become the world champion.
Yeah, there's no way CM Punk doesn't sell for him, even if he beats Khan. But Tony Khan is going to pay CM Punk to sell his offense.
Yeah. Well, nobody can sell the fucking Jaguars offense either. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I definitely get that reference. I know all about the American football.
It's the only football that matters. Hughezy, where can we find you on social media, buddy, and what you got going on?
At the Hughezy on Twitter, at the Hughezy on Instagram. you could find my podcast. It's Hughezy Hello on all streaming services. Have a very good episode with Vince Russo coming out on the 28th of November. It is called Vince Russo Marking Around the Christmas Tree. I asked him a lot of behind the scenes 1990s WWE drama. Got some great stuff. Got good Christmas music debate because 'tis the season. Find the video version of it. Check out Hughezy Entertainment on YouTube. And if you want to hear pro wrestling being spoken about by experts and very topical content, go to Keep 100 Official. That's the official YouTube channel for the very controversial show hosted by the great Conan and Disco Inferno.
And Joe Feeney.
And Joe Feeney, the producer of the show. And Billy Body, who skipped this week for some reason. Don't know if he's gone for good, but I'm sure all to be revealed. Hopefully nothing serious.
No, I'm sure it's the holidays. I'm sure he just ate too much and, got a bellyache and, couldn't perform. He's a star. I'm sure there was a legitimate reason why he wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, thoughts and prayers go out to Billy Body. We hope he's okay. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Rad Rob Gaming. Check me out on Twitch. As we mentioned earlier, I am a gaming streamer, even though I'm fucking old as shit. I play Super Mario Brothers, which, that just shows you right there how old I am. Twitch.tv/Rad Rob Gaming. I stream every Tuesday night and Saturday night at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, midnight fucking in the UK, I think. I also have 7,000 podcasts. RTW Main Event drops every Thursday. That's my comedy show with the Ocho, El Barbara Maximo, the Marksmen family. That drops on Thursdays. On Sundays, if I feel like putting out a show on Hameen Media Group, I do RTW Rewind, which is my retro show, which I just kind of do whenever I feel like it, just like this show. We have Uncancelled with Drake Wirtz. Former NXT referee Drake Wirtz is talking about how he got fired from WWE for being white. And we cover topical stuff like the C word and mandates and all that stuff. That drops on Fridays. Also on Fridays, Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr., who is a former pro bowler. His dad is a PBA Hall of Famer. We sit there with Ocho and we chop it up and talk about bowling like no one's ever heard before, which is a riveting show. I know he's a big fan of that show. We have this show, obviously, which drops whenever Hughes and I feel like putting out a show, which if you're listening to the audio form, you can check it out on my YouTube channel, Rad Rob Gaming. You can watch the videos of the wonderful, beautiful, lovely, blue-eyed Hughezy, who's one of my favorite people in the entire world, because he's gorgeous. He's a good-looking guy. Finally, he got a haircut after the pandemic, so it was looking pretty bleak for a while. I'm just trying to fill another couple minutes. What other fucking shows do I have going on? Jesus Christ. Oh, Brad Shepard Unleashed. How could I forget that? Brad Shepard, our good friend, has a show on Hameen Media Group that drops every Thursday morning. He's talking about the marks. He's literally got a voicemail number that people can call in and leave voicemails for him, whether good or bad, which was pretty funny this past Thursday. So check that out on Hameen Media Group. You won't find the show itself if you search the name. It's part of Hameen Media Group. Just search for HMG. And subscribe to that, and you'll get the feed every Thursday. I think that's fucking all the shows that I do. Goddamn, pal. There's no sleep for me. Sleep's the enemy. God damn it, we don't want to sleep here. Nobody
sleep in your bed.
We hope you guys enjoyed this show. Our next episode will be focused on Matt Hardy. That should be coming out here in the next few weeks. There's a lot to fucking unpack there. We're going to talk about his run in AEW.
And can I announce the title for the next episode?
Yes, sir. You're the one that you're the one that comes up with all the episodes. So yeah.
Twat Hardy.
I don't get it.
It's because his surname is Hardy.
Gotcha. See you next time, guys.
Fuck these bitch ass Mars. Fuck these bitch ass Mars. Fuck these bitch ass Mars. Fuck these bitch ass Mars.